President Trump has to be very careful. The security has to be much better, I think. Much better. Tighter, Mar-a-Lago, everywhere. Everybody should be assuming all the time that there are forces out there, dark forces out there, that have made a decision. That decision is that Donald J. Trump, regardless of what votes say, will never return to the White House in control, because they understand once he gets back in, it's game over, right? So that's why the game, and that's why my number one projection for 2024 is nobody knows nothing, right?
And in the case of Trump, they started with protests, they moved to impeachment, now they're at indictment, none of it has worked. What's next? What could possibly be next? If you felt, and you really believed, and a lot of them do, that the worst thing that could happen to the country, and more specifically to you in the professional class, is to have Donald Trump as president, and everything you have tried has failed, and they have been accelerating steps, protests, impeachment, indictment, like how many more arrows do you have in your quiver? And what's the next one? And of course, it's assassination. And assassination happens around the world. I had dinner with former president of Haiti in my house last night. His successor was murdered in his bed in the presidential palace. And he's hardly alone. People get assassinated. I mean, they've been assassinated in this country far more often than we're willing to admit. It happened in Japan. That's exactly right. So it's not crazy. And of course, it's the last thing I want. I said it directly to Trump, by the way, because it's so obvious. How could you not say that? So I did. And he did not engage with me at all on that subject. And I don't know what he actually thinks of it, but he's smart. And so he must know that that's true. But why? So again, it's just another example of what you said a minute ago wisely. If you want to know what's true, look at the things you're not allowed to say. You're not allowed to say them not because they're conspiracy theories or lies. You're not allowed to say them precisely because they are not conspiracy theories or lies. They are true. Yeah. And that is true, period.
Let me ask you a question, because it wasn't part of my rundown here, but you got me thinking about something. Trump's up in a lot of these swing state polls. You know, they're polls, I get it, acute moments in time, anything could change, but just take it for what it's worth. He's got a decent chance of winning. If he were to win this thing, we have obviously this period between November and January and the swearing in. I'm not sure that's going to go well. I don't think that's going to end well.
I couldn't agree with you more. I'm taking a deep breath because I have so many thoughts, most of which I'm not going to express because I have no evidence other than my own intuition and what seems obvious. And I think we probably share exactly the same views on this. Look, they have set up Donald Trump as president as the one thing they can't tolerate. Now, that's anti-democratic right there. Democracy demands that people who didn't vote for a candidate submit to his rule if he wins democratically. That's a baseline requirement for democracy. All of us have been through it. Some guy you hate gets elected and you have to sit there and be like, okay, he's the president. He's my president. It's my country. And I'm going to sit there like a good little boy as he reigns. I disagree with him, but I'm not going to try and kill him because I believe in the system. That's kind of the traditional Western view of democracy. They don't have a Western view of anything. They don't believe in democracy. So they're not bound by the normal rules that the rest of us are and have been for 250 years. So I just don't think they're going to tolerate it. I don't think they think like us. They're not like, well, you know, he won. I guess we should let him govern. They didn't do that last time, and they definitely won't do it this time. And of course, the difference now is we know exactly who they are. We know exactly what they think. And we know to some extent the lengths they will go to get their will. And they don't have any boundaries at all. And I think that we should be prepared, at least internally, psychologically, for them to do anything.